prize money on the line for this event is $1,000 for the winner. And a chance to qualify and get an Olympic spot. Guns up. And they're off. Out fast to the front. Looks to be lane 3. Coming through in the middle. This is a tight one, folks. We're going to have to leave this one up to the photo finish camera.
You can't pass the key, though.
But no LX holder seems to have gotten out pretty
well.
Field came back on him.
Don't make I feel it last year, I don't feel it. You won't feel it. It's a real one.
Look who, you know how long we already see you. It could have been about a year or two. Born to drink now, what we go do. Long time, been a while we have us alive. Nothing has changed, you still look fine. Look how you're looking fine. I thought you hiding, I thought you went for it. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. And I will make up for all this time. I'll make up for all this time. It was just last week when I called your name. I did ask your friend and them. When last did they talk to you? Long I ain't talked to you. Go funny, you're in my sight. Didn't know you was here tonight. It looked like you're doing alright, like money running real nice. I thought you hiding, I thought you went for it. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you. I don't even want to leave you. I don't know when we'll bounce up again. So let me take a little thing until then. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. And I will make up for all this time. I'll make up for all this time. I'm glad to see you, my friend, from long time. Let we just take a wine. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. And I'm glad to see you, my friend, from long ago. Don't even want to go. I wanna hold on together and rock away the whole night. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. Give me the wine that I want. Long time, long time, long. So long I see you. Give me a wine now. Give me a wine now. And I will make up for all this time. I'll make up for all this time, Lord.
Show me enough, right?
their dreams of one day becoming professional athletes. We have named Shaquana Redmond from West Demaria Secondary. Naomi Peters, also from the same high school. Becky Edwards, who's from Baldwin Hall Secondary. They're being called to their marks. Adessa Albert, who's from Upper Demaria Secondary. Kenneth Fraser, also from the same school. Renetta Paul, who's from President's College. Esther Blair, and Danica Ford. Starter calls them up. I think we'll get the race started in a couple minutes as there's triple jump action happening at the same time. So we have some a 1644 jumper. That's Damon Williams. And we have Damigale Werson, who's a 1572 jumper, and Alain Alias from French Guyana, who's a 1491 jumper. So they're using a little extra runway, which leads onto the first turn of the track. So that's what's holding up the high school girls 100 meters. We'll get you distance on those in a minute. Now back to the track. Starter calls them to their marks. And they're off, getting out strongly in lane 1, running away from the field, but here comes lane 3, stepping away from the crowd. She'll take this easily. Lane 1 second, and looks like the bright green was third in lane 2. Get you caught up on that 100 meters from earlier. We have Joseph Amoa, the winner from Ghana, at 10:35. Emmanuel Archibald listed as second in 10:37. Alexander Ogando from Dominican Republic listed third in 10:41. And Noel X Holder from Guyana listed fourth in 10:43. Those were the money places. Next up, on the track we have high school boys 100. It's Kirani Benjamin, Emmanuel Adams, LeBron Burns, Mikhail Thomas, Dawan Anderson, Lugansi Bromel, Dylan Hudson, and Jordan Ross.
And Alexander Agando from the Dominican Republic came third, 10.4.
Let's see if we can get you those high schools also. So Benjamin, he's from President's College. Adams, he's also from President's College. Burns, not seeing Burns listed on our sheet. Might be Barnes. Apologies if we have butchered your name. It is Barnes, and he's also from President's College. Thomas, he's from Baldwin Hall Secondary. Anderson, same school. Brummel's from President's College. And Ross, he's from THS. Off they go. Stepping forward is lane 6, who seems to have the field covered. This one is over, folks. Lane 6 it is. Lane 1 looks to finish second. Third between lane 4 and lane 7, I believe. We'll get you those times shortly. It'll be number 41, that's bib number, Anthony Diaz from Trinidad and Tobago, has a, before we get to the javelin, there's actually a second boys, high school boys 100. To their marks, guns up. Off they go with a great start in the middle. We have, that's lane 3 and lane 1, both coming at it. Lane 1 for the 3, for lane 4 for second. Lane 3 looks to be third. We'll get you those names shortly. Getting back to the next event. Men's javelin. That is listed as a classic event on the schedule, so prize monies, top 3. 500 for first, 300 for second, and 200 for third place. Competitors listed: Anthony Diaz, that's bib number 41 from Trinidad and Tobago, PB of 69.30, also has a season's best of 63.66. Bib number 42, Jermaine Simmons from Guyana, has a PB and season's best of 58.87. Leslane Baird from Guyana has a PB, which is also the national record, 78.65. He's a four-time national champion in this event, 2012, 2017, 2022, and 2024. Anthony Diaz won the NAAA TT Series 1 and Falcon Games in Trinidad. Jermaine Simmons, two-time national champ for Guyana in the shot put and discus 2024. Tremaine Beckles of Guyana has a PB of 62.53, also a season's best of 60.54, second-ranked Guyanese javelin thrower. Gabriel Lim has a PB of 65.98 and a season's best of 64.17. He's bib number 45. Tremaine Beckles is bib number 44. Bib number 46 is Keelan Spillin from Guyana, PB of 66.09. He's a one-time national champion in 2019. And Kaden Prasad, bib number 47. He has a PB of 49.61, Carifta under 17 finalist in 2024. Kaden will also be competing in the 800 later on, a unique double. Those Heat 2 competitors were Skylar Charles in the 100 meters, just ran. Skylar is from West Damara Secondary, Demel, Europe, also from the same high school. Jonathan Richards, same high school. Shamoy Harvey, same high school. Brandon Nurse. We don't have a listed school for Brandon, but chances are he might be from the same high school. And Davian Lutson. Also, we don't have a listed high school for Lutson, but going with the trend, he might have been from the same high school. We'll get you confirmation shortly. See a mark here close to 70 meters. We'll get you confirmation shortly. Next throw. This looks to be a fair throw. roughly 48 meters. Will get you actual distance shortly. See how close I am to the correct measurement. That was 53.28, so a little bit further than my estimation. Thrower up, Leslie Beard from Guyana, coming up with his approach. Beautiful arc on this one, over 65 meters, close to 70. We'll get you marked on that shortly. Going back to earlier throw, Anthony Diaz through 68.52. He's currently in the lead from Trinidad and Tobago. We watch this measurement. Our javelin retriever will probably run about 1,000 meters today, back and forth. This throw was in the 67 region. We'll get you the exact distance shortly. Tremaine Beckles, he's bib number 44. Beard throw was 67 meters even, so he's currently sitting in second.
There's a call for you to check the call room area. Coach Mark Scott.
Our next thrower up is Tremaine Beckles. Going back to our second thrower, that was Jermaine Simmons. He threw 53.28. We just had a foul from Tremaine Beckles. Our next thrower up will be Gabriel Lim, also from Guyana, bib number 45. Next event up on the track at 6:30 will be the Sleeping Hotel and Casino Men's 800. So we have roughly 27 minutes. Here comes Gabriel Lim, pretty flat throw. That's also a foul. So we have some time here to showcase the javelin event, get those who aren't familiar with the event accustomed to it. It's pretty much spear throwing in spikes and spandex. But we do have some really good Caribbean athletes who are javelin throwers, world and Olympic medalists. So this is an event that the Caribbean, South America has branched out into outside of the regular sprints. So So it's exciting to see these athletes trying new events. For 46 is up. That's a fair throw. That's Keelan Spellin from Guyana. Diaz's throw from earlier was a season's best for him. Came into this meet with a best of 63-66 and opened up with a strong 68-52. So looking to get over that 70-meter barrier. Waiting on the measurement for Keelan Spellin. We have one thrower left, which is Kaden Prasad, our also 800-meter runner. He's bib number 47. Let's it go. He's a junior athlete. Looks in the 50-meter range. We'll get you that shortly. Seems like our javelin retriever is already tired, so job's been passed off. That throw was 48.76, so not quite at the 50-meter mark. Season's best for Kaden. It's 49.61, so close. Up next, top of the order, Anthony Diaz. Oh, not a. This is over 65. Arc didn't look as great as the first throw. Get you that measurement shortly. I think he just over-rotated slightly on that attempt. That was 65.07 behind his best, which was 68.52. Next up on the runway, bib number 42, Jermaine Simmons. Jermaine Simmons, as mentioned previously, two-time national champion, but those came in the shot put and discus. Here doing his third event, the javelin throw.
Long jump men, please report to the jumping area.
Let's it go. Early arc, so we come down short of the 60-meter mark from the naked eye. We'll get you that mark for Jermaine Simmons shortly. Next up, Leslie-Ann Baird, whose first throw was 67 flat. So 57.56 for Jermaine Simmons on his second throw. Leslie-Ann Baird up next for his second throw.
Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom. If I tell you, say I love you, you know they for me, young girl. No, tell me no. Oh.
Asking for some support from the crowd. This is a huge one, folks. This is past the 70-meter mark. That was Leslie-Ann Baird. We'll get you confirmation on the distance shortly. So, Javelin qualifier for the Olympics is currently listed as, we'll get back to that shortly, that was 73.79 for Baird. Improvement takes over the lead.
My check. We have a car key. I have a car key here with me. You can come and uplift your car key if you drop. It looks like it's wooden with some fine nails inside.
Standard for the Javelins, 85.50 for the men.
Just come and collect it from me.
So 73 puts you in shouting distance. Let's see what he has for his next throw. Tremaine Beckle's second throw was 56 flat. Coming up on his second throw. Looks over his 65 meters. That'll be Gabriel Lim. Our javelin carrier is back. I think they'll over-under is 1,000 meters of running today. He'll sleep well tonight. That was 62.59, so slightly off from my naked eye. This is Gabriel Lim's first fair throw, fouled on his first. Keelan Spelling looks to have gotten a legal throw in below 60 meters. We also have warming up the women's long jump. That is set 53.42 for Keelan Spelling. So long jump will go off. Actually, looking at the runway, it seems we'll have the men's long jump. As they seem to be getting their steps together.
We're asking athletes for the 400 and 100 meters, top three finishers to come forward for the medal.
That was 45.49 for Kaden Prasad, the junior athlete. Not a best, keeps his best of 48.76. And we're back to the top of the order. Our first round leader, Anthony Diaz, who's now in second. Best throw so far of 68.52.
Medal ceremony. You're asking the athletes for the top three finishes for the 100 and 400 meters, men and women.
Red flags up, so not a fair throw. So we'll have Jermaine Simmons up for his second throw. His third throw, apologies. Men's long jump is listed for 6:50 on the schedule. We'll let you know if it's been moved up as they go through their paces on the runway currently. Simmons is up. Lets it fly. Comes down just short of the 60-meter mark, but it's a fair throw.
And the men's javelin event. I know a number of persons would have came in a bit late, so some results so far on the day. The women's 400 meters, Alia Abrams of Guyana, 52 seconds. taking first place, followed by Kenisha Phillips, 52.8 seconds. And Tiana Springer, 52.9. Over in the men's 400 meters, Lidio Filez from the Dominican Republic, 46. Evan Mafilas from the USA, 46.39 seconds. And Nifor Santana from the Dominican Republic, 46.51 seconds. Over in the women's 100 meters, Trinidad and Tobago,
That was 55.57.
seconds. Jasmine Abrams of Guyana, 11.53 seconds. And
5.78. Apologies.
finishing in 11.54 seconds. In the men's 100 meters B race, St. Kitts and Nevis, Jason Rogers winning in 10.44 seconds. Patrick Abel of Guyana,
Leslie Beard,
seconds.
number
And Kyle
43, bib
Giroux
number.
of Trinidad and Tobago in 10.71 seconds.
Simmons is asking for the crowd.
The men's 100 meter A race, Joseph Amor of Ghana,
Has a
who won
brace
this event in 2019.
on his left leg. Doesn't seem to be
Crossed the finish
affecting
line
him
first
much.
in 10.35 seconds, followed by Guyana's Emmanuel Archibald in 10.37 seconds, and Alexander Agondo of Dominican Republic.
Lets it fly.
1 second.
This one seems to be over 70 meters also. Gets you that distance shortly.
The women's
His second throw was 73.79, so let's see where this one lands. So he's hoping to get to that 80-meter mark.
and we're preparing for the men's 800 meters event.
This one looks like it might be an improvement on that 73.79. Actually, no. It's 69.58, so remains the leader at 73.79. Sitting in second is Diaz at 68.52. Those are two competitors over the 65-meter mark. That was Tremaine Beckles, another fair throw. Looks to be threatening the 60-meter mark. We'll get you that distance shortly. Here goes our javelin carrier. I think we might be up to 800 meters by now. Warm-up continues on the long jump track. That is also a highlight event. .27. Gabriel Limbs asking for crowd help. Get that alt familiar track clap going for the field events. Up to the runway, lets it fly. It's over 60 meters, threatening 65 meters.
800 meters men. First call.
In the long jump field that will start on our schedule at 6:50 is...
All right, so presentation ceremony for the men's
Get back to
400
that
meters.
shortly.
We have
That was 63.37 for Gabriel Lim. We'll have a medal presentation.
She's also the vice chair of the National Sports Commission.
On the runway,
First place from the Dominican Republic,
it's Keelan Spillin, number
43.02
46,
third place, rather.
to the
We're going to start with Nico
awards
Santana
ceremony.
from the Dominican Republic, 46.51 seconds. Second place, Yvonne Mafilis from the USA, running 46.39 seconds. And winning from the Dominican Republic is Lidio Filez in 46.02 seconds. That's the men's 400 meters. Kaliza Smith.
0.97 for Keelan Spellin from Guyana. Last thrower up is Kaden Passard. Best so far of 48.76. As we continue with the list for the long jump, Jean John Matthews, Trinidad and Tobago, has a PB and a season's best 663.
You're asking the drivers for the vehicles parked at the entrance to remove and utilize the parking lot.
Won the Falcon Games in Trinidad, set his PR in March. Damon Williams from Guyana, PB 767. He's a 5-time national champion.
It's called for the women's 400 meters top 3 finishers. So we're making presentation for the 400 and 100 meters as well.
Won those championships for the long jump in 2019. 4-time triple jump national champion, 19, 21, 22, and 24. Melon Lowenfield from Guyana has a PB of 752, the 6th ranked Guyanese long jumper. Verbert Damet from Guyana has a PB of 772. And back to those, we're back to the javelin throw. That's Gabriel Lim, bib number 45. Looks to be threatening the 65-meter mark. We'll get you that distance in a moment. Next competitor in the long jump will be Micaiah Washington, PB of 772. He's the 8th ranked Guyanese long jumper. We also have Emmanuel Archibald, returning from the 100 meters where he finished second. He's actually ranked 88 on the World Athletics ranking with a PB of 8:12, the national record, and a season's best of 7:95. Last throw for Gabriel Lim, 64.22. Up on the runway we have, this looks to be Diaz over the 65-meter line, threatening the 70-meter line. We'll get you that distance shortly. As we mentioned earlier, Archibald is a 9-time national champion. He's actually won the long jump 3 times, 21, 22, and 24. Lutalo Boyce from Guyana will be the next competitor, 8:03 PB. He's a 2-time Lone Star Conference champ in the long jump 4x1 2016. Stefan Roach looks to be a scratch. That last throw was 66.33 from Diaz. Next competitor in the long jump will be Henry Frayne from Australia. He's ranked a number 40 in this event, PB of 8:34. He's a 2-time national champion in the long jump 21 and the triple jump 2010. And Cozy Lich from Guyana has a season's best of 7:20. And Laquan Nair from the Bahamas is ranked 27th on the World Athletics ranking with a PB of 8:22, season's best 7:93. He's a 3-time national champ, long jump 2021, 2022, 2023, and a Commonwealth champion in 2022. Lausanne champ in 2023. The record in this event, 787, so that should be on the threat from Emmanuel Archibald. He's also the 2019 champion. Up on the runway, we have Gabriel Lim again. Let's go over the 60-meter line, threatening the 65-meter line.
Men, this is your
Get
first
you
call. 110
that
hurdles.
distance shortly.
Please check with the call room.
We can try. I
So recapping, we have Leslie and Beard, who's in first, 73.79 meters. Anthony Diaz, who's in second with a best of 68.52. Last throw was 60.25. 60.35, sorry folks, and that was Gabriel Lim, and he's currently still sitting in third with a best of 63.37. Here we have another one threatening 65 meters. That seems to be Diaz. We'll get you that. Oh, that's a foul. Diaz did not like that. Throwers tend to not want marks not representative of their talent on the score sheet. So you see that quite often. Throwers will step across the line if it's not to their liking. But still out in front, it's Leslie-Ann Beard from Guyana with 69.58. Haven't seen him on the runway yet, but I think here he comes.
You're asking for Tiana Springer.
Sleeve on his
for the
left leg
presentation ceremony.
and a sleeve on his right arm. Does not seem to be hindering his performance at all. Goes into his routine. Asks the crowd for help. He's trying to get one out to that 80-meter mark. Send him, book his ticket to Paris for the Olympic Games. Begins his run up. Javelin back, lets it go. Over the 60-meter mark, steps across the line. Didn't get as much height or torque as his other two throws. On the track, we have the runners lining up for the 800 meters. Competitors in that event: Devon Barrington from Guyana as a PB of 150.95, three-time national champ. 2019, 21, and 22. Nicholas Daw has a PB of 152.91. He's a one-time national champ in 2024. Sion Booker has a PB of 151.67, back on the runway of the Javelin. This is Gabriel Lim, who lets it go. Looks short of the 65-meter mark. We'll get you that shortly. The 800 for men are on the track. Get you the rest of that lineup. Kaden Prasad, who is also in the javelin throw, PB of 155.67. Kosi Thomas, 155.04. Simeon Adams, PB season's best, 152.88. We also have Matthew Gordon, PB season's best, 153.94. Javon Roberts, 154.51. And Royston Fordyce, as they come through the 400-meter mark, heading towards the 500-meter. 60.28, the last throw for Keelan Spellin. No, Gabriel Lim, my apologies. But we're coming up on 200 meters to go. We're getting a challenger. Is winding it up, folks. We're at the top curve, coming around to the last 100. It's a three-way battle for first. Swinging wide. Coming for the victory is lane 7, I believe. We'll get you the names on those shortly.
Oh gosh, I'm say,
110 hurdles. Please report to the courtroom. 110 hurdles.
And the javelin was from Anthony Diaz, who's currently sitting in second. Looks to be around that 63, 64 meter mark. We'll get you the actual distance shortly. That was 61.62 for Diaz. Now,
Presentation ceremony for the women's.
now back on the runway
Women will receive
is
the from
looks
Director
to
of
be
Sport, Mrs. Steve Ninval.
nope.
Third place, Tiana Springer, 52.91 seconds. Followed by Kenisha Phillips, 52.86 seconds. And Alia Abrams, winning in 52 seconds.
The runway is Leslie-Ann Beard.
The presentation to
Lets it go. High arc and throw. Comes down over the 65 meter line, threatening 70.
52.9
We'll get
seconds.
you that distance shortly. Passed on his
Running 52.86
fourth attempt, fouled
seconds.
his fifth attempt.
And Alia Abrams, Olympian, winning in 52 seconds. She's also the national record holder in the women's 400 meters event.
Still waiting the results on that throw from Leslie-Ann Beard. That was 66.69. Not an improvement. Has a best of 69.58. 73. Winding it up, folks. We're at the top curve, coming around to the last 100. It's a three-way battle for first. Swinging wide. Coming for the victory. Anthony Diaz is lane 7, I believe. Third in a best of 64.22. Names on those shortly. Next up on the track will be the men's Connections Travel Service men's 110 hurdles. In the men's 110 hurdles, Ends 110 hurdles. We have in lane 4 Christian Rodriguez from Dominican Republic, PB season's best of 1373. He's a one-time national champion in 2023. Lane 5, Ruben Walters, Trinidad and Tobago. He has a PB of 1330, three-time national champ, 2017, 18, and 19. In lane 6, Zaza Wellington from Liberia. He's ranked 171 on the world rankings in this event, has a PB of 1336. Two-time African Games finalist. He's also a under 20 World Championship finalist. And in lane 7, Isis Belize from Dominican Republic. He has a PB and season's best of 1377. Ran his PB on May 25th at the Grand Prix Estadio de Atletismo in Colombia. Had record for this event, 1356 by Eddie Lovett. So we'll have 4 competitors in this event. Again, prize money here. This is a classic event, top 3, so 3 out of 4 here will receive prize monies. 500 for the win, 300 for second, and 200 for third. Hurdles still being set up on the track. Once more, give you those Javelin final results. In third place, Gabriel Lim with a best of 64.22. In second place, Anthony Diaz with a best of 68.52. And winning, Les Lane Beard with a best of 73.79, the only man to break 70 meters in the event today.
For the driver of PKK 4217, check your vehicle. PKK 4217. We're about to witness the start of the. We're about to witness the
200 meters high school girls, please report to the call room. Again, 200 meters high school girls, please report to the call room.
The men's 110 hurdles, Christian Rodriguez from the Dominican Republic. Isaiah Bless from the Dominican Republic.
Going through their paces for the 110 hurdles.
And Ruben Walters from Trinidad and Tobago. Those are athletes competing in the men's 110 hurdles.
Based on season's best, race should be between Rodriguez, Zaza Wellington, and and Isas Belize from Dominican Republic.
And you also have the men's long jump in progress. Jinjo Matru of Trinidad and Tobago, Damon Williams from Guyana. We have Lowenfield from Guyana as well too, Vibert Domet. Washington, Emmanuel Archibald. Utalo Boyce.
That's Zaza Wellington
Henry Free
on the
from
screen.
Australia. And Kosi Leach from Guyana. Laquan. Narine from the Bahamas. And
Anxiously
Carl
waiting.
Williams of Guyana, who's
Started
the
to call
fastest
them to their
competing
marks.
men's long jump. Again, we're preparing to witness the start of the men's 110 hurdles. Running in lane 3, Christian Rodriguez from Dominican Republic. Also from the Dominican Republic is Isaiah Bless. Zaza Wellington from Liberia, and Ruben Walters of Trinidad and Tobago running in lane 6.
Athletes going through their final pacing. Qualifying time for the Olympics for this event, 13:27. This event scheduled to go off at 6:50, so slightly behind as the athletes get their final instructions. Give you results earlier from the 800. In fact, was lane 7 the winner, Devon Barrington from Guyana, with a time of 1:51.64. Nicholas Dawes out of lane 6 with a time of 1:53.27 was second. Simoyan Adams with a time of 1:54.24 for third. Kosi Thomas was fourth with a time of 1:54.26, pretty close between third and fourth. And fifth, we have Kosi Thomas. In sixth, we have Kaden Prasad with a time of 1:54.85. And rounding out the field, we have in seventh, Royston Fordyce with a time of 1:58.43. Runners are by their blocks. Starters in place. Temperature is held steady at 83 degrees. Humidity went down. It's a very comfortable afternoon/night. Still awaiting the start. The Connections Travel Service men's 110 hurdles. We have a couple of friendly flies circling the athletes. Checking the finish line, make sure we are ready to go now. Starter calls them to their marks. And they're off to the first hurdle. Taking the lead, we have that's Zaza Wellington, but here comes Ruben Williams. To the front, it's Ruben Williams for the win. With second between Zaza Wellington and Isis Blaze. It's carnage on the track. It looks like only the third flight of the hurdles were spared. We'll get you that finishing time shortly. Very competitive race. We have hurdles getting broken. Get you those results shortly. Here's the replay. And they're off. Out quickly was Zaza Wellington. Taking the lead by hurdle 3. Zaza Wellington, but here comes Ruben Williams. Charge of the race. Crashing hurdles, but not seeming to affect him much. On the outside in lane 7, Zaza Wellington seems to have taken second. Zaza Wellington third, and finished bringing up the rear, Kristen Rodriguez. Her next event on the track scheduled for 7 p.m. and that is the high school girls 200 meters. Competitors in that event Blair. Competitors for the girls 200, Esther Blair. She is from President's College. Shanika Redmond. She is from West Damara Secondary. Becky Edwards. She is from Baldwin Hall Secondary. Nalicia Glenn. She's from Baldwin Hall Secondary. And Renita Paul. She's from President's College. That event scheduled for 7 p.m. running slightly behind. We'll get you immediately following the high school girls 200. We'll have the women's 200. And that'll be at 7:05, and at 7:15 the Link Up Media men's 200. The women's 200, Nikkei, Guyana, is the sponsor for that event. The long jump already in progress. That was scheduled to go off at 6:55. Sponsored by the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. Seems to be a fair jump.
Men and women.
We'll get you distance on that previous jump shortly. In the meantime, .32 for Latalo Boyce from Guyana. The upcoming women's 200 meters have a field of Narissa McPherson in lane 2. She's a two-time national champion in the 400 and mixed relay, 2022 and 17 respectively. She's only 17 years old. Atalia Hinkinson's listed in 3. She might be a scratch. That previous jump was a scratch. Stefan Roach. Up next looks to be Henry Frey from Australia. Henry Frayne. Very deliberate runway. Lands feet first. Reminiscent of a Carl Lewis. Get you that distance shortly. .624. Oh, 6.40. Off his season's best of 796. For the women's upcoming 200, Milagros Duran from Dominican Republic. She'll be in lane 4. She's a under 20 World Championship finalist. On the runway, fair jump. That was Nkosi from Guyana. Looks thrilled with his effort. We'll get you that distance as soon as the measurement is done. 6.72 for Nkosi. Cozy Leitch. Cozy Leitch. Bahamas Bahamian athlete asking for help from the crowd. Be Laquan. Looks like a fair jump laid out in the pit.
There's the men's long jump happening and the women's 200 meters is about to start. We have Melissa McPherson running in lane 2, Natalia Hinkson in lane 3. You have Duran from
that was a 7.33.
From the USA in lane 5.
7.30. Apologies. And that was Laquan Nair from the Bahamas, 3-time national champ, Commonwealth champ in 2022. Off we go for the high school 200 meters. Out in front, our winner from the 100 meters earlier in lane 4 with beautiful technique, as she will run away with this easily. We'll get you the name shortly.
So that was the high school females.
Another fair jump.
And now for the women's 200 meters event. In lane 8, Thomas from Trinidad to David Shansky in lane 7. Michelle Liai from Trinidad in lane 6. She would have also won the women's 100 meters. Amira Young in lane 5. Dalilah of Guyana in lane 3. Lane 4, Durant from the Dominican Republic. And Marissa McPherson from Ghana in lane 2.
Last jump, 6.37. And that was Alan Alice. Next on the runway, would be Kristen Rodriguez. Just competed in the 110 hurdles also. Amir Young in the 200s in lane 5, a best of 22.84. She's a 4-time Big Ten indoor champion in the 60 meters, 21-23. Actually a 2-time Big Ten champion in the 60, 21 and 23, and a 2-time champion in the 200 indoors, Big Ten also, 21 and 23. Michelle Lee Ayer, 9-time national champion, has a PB and a national record of 22-25 in this event. Deshawn Eskeet from Guyana is in 7. PB and season's best of 23.63. She's a West Regional qualifier in the 400 for Kansas. And Rai Thomas from Trinidad and Tobago is in lane 8. 6.90 for Kristen Rodriguez, Dominican Republic. And Rai Thomas in the 200s, a 6-time national champ in she won the 200 in 08, 15, and 23, and also the 4x1 in 12, 18, and 22. Latala Boyce 7.05 for Damon Williams of Guyana in the long jump. 200 meters are on their marks. And they're off, getting out to a fast start. That looks like Michelle Lee Ayer, but on the inside, Mia Lagas Duran coming out on the outside. That's from Kansas by way of Guyana, the Shaunae Miller-Uibo. Up next in the long jump on the runway, was Mellon Lonefield. He's ranked 1,106 in this event on World Athletics.
That was the end of the women's 200 meters event. You'll wait the official result in the meantime. You prepare for the men's 200 meters. We have the men's long jump happening.
We'll get you his distance shortly. Looks like a scratch. Next up on the runway, fair jump. That was Verbet Demet. We'll get you his distance shortly.
Sha'Carri Richardson running in 2. Patrick Ealey in lane 3. Willis Holder is running in lane 4.
Was 6.37 meters for Verbet Demet. Back to results from earlier, the 110 hurdles. We had Ruben Williams taking the win in 13.66. Zaza Wellington, Libya, taking second in 13.69. Isis Bless, 13.70. And Christian Rodriguez, 13.84. Coming up to the end of this exciting one-day meet, the Aliann Pompey Invitational, we have the men's 200. Before that, get you caught up on the long jump. Number Micaiah Washington just jumped 696 meters. This is Archibald. Big jump, but got a red flag. We have the men's 200 now on track. They're on their marks. Off they go. Favorite here be Joseph Amoa, as he's a two-time African Games champ, comes off the corner with the slight lead, but being pressed on his outside by Nadale Bunton. Coming to the line. It's a close one. We'll let the finish line cameras sort that out for you. But that lineup was Shamir Horerito, Patrick Abel, Noel X Holder, Joseph Amoa, Jan Carlos Martinez, Kyle Garks, and Nadale Bunton. We'll get a measurement shortly on this jump. And with that 200, we end the track events. So our main focus now is the long jump. With local favorite Emmanuel Archibald tapped as the favorite. That last jump was by Latalo Boyce, 724. He's a two-time African Games
Here we
champ.
see
Comes
coming off the corner
curve, Joseph
with
Amora.
the
Slight lead, but being
joined
pressed on his outside
was
by Nadale
Bunton.
Coming to the line. Close one at the line as Patrick Abel and Shamar see the right mix. But on the outside, it looks like Nadale Bunton from St. Kitts and Nevis took that one. Very close finish. It starts to fall apart. Bunton with the better lean on the inside. In lane 2 was Abel and Shamar in lane 3. Pretty close, but this seems to have gone to Bunton. Held his form at the end and had a much better lean to snatch the victory. It's a close one. We'll let the finish line cameras sort that out for you. We get back to the long jump runway. We'll get a measurement. That last jump, and Cozy with a jump of 6.74. Next up on the runway, next up on the runway is the Bahamian, Laquan Nair. Runs through, run up slightly off on this one. We'll get you our next competitor up on the runway. That was Alan Alice, French Guyana. Get you his distance shortly. That was 669 for Alan. Next up on the runway,
Jean John Matthews on the runway. We'll get you his mark shortly. Get you some results earlier from the 200. That was won by the Shana Skeet from Guyana, 23.64. Michelle Liai for second, 24.17. Mia Lagos Duran from Dominican Republic, 24.30 for third. And Narissa McPherson from Guyana, 24.56 for fourth. Damon Williams just jumped. We'll get you his measurements shortly. Relatively pleased with that performance. That was 683 for Damon Williams, close to his season's best of 688. Next up, we have Melon Lowenfield, a foul, scratched on that jump. Next on the runway, asking the crowd for their help. It's Verbet Domet. Gets into his run. Pretty good speed on the board. Pretty good speed on the runway. Lots of height off the board. Fair jump. Get you that distance shortly. .630 for Verbet Domet on his last attempt. Next up on the runway, run up slightly off. That was Micaiah Washington. He has a season's best of 7:37. Just couldn't seem to find the board on that attempt. Next up on the runway, asking for the crowd's help and participation. Pretty good speed down the runway. Lots of height off the board, but scratches. That was Emmanuel Archibald. So he'll have one more attempt to hit the board. Next up will be Latalo Boyce. Asking for the crowd's help and participation. Familiar field event clap. Off to a strong run up. Good height off the board. Fair jump. We'll get you that mark shortly. Been a wonderful evening of track and field here. Lenova National Track and Field Stadium in Lenova. That mark was 6:54 by Latalo Boyce. Next up on the runway will be Henry Friend of Australia. He has a season's best of 7:96. We'll see if he can get close to that here. Leonora Track and Field area or center, National Track and Field Center at Leonora. That was 7:32 meters for Henry. Next up will be Alan Alice. getting to his routine. One of the shorter run-ups we've seen today. That was Nkosi. Seven meters even for that jump. Next up, it's Laquan Nair. He has a season's best of 793 and a PB of 822. Asking the crowd for help. Looking to get over that 8-meter mark. Very upright in his run-up. Hits the board, not as much height as he would have wanted. Fair jump. We await Laquan's mark. That was 758 meters. Now on the runway. Asking for the crowd's help. Familiar field event clap. Goes into his routine, leans back, leans forward, now he's off. Bright green sleeves. That was a scratch. Next up, that was Alan Alice, bib number 24, with a scratch. I believe now we're up to third attempts. Have Archibald walking back along with Henry of Australia and Laquan of Bahamas, as they seem to be the three competitors left. As they meet with the long jump officials, get final instructions. Walking back to the end of the runway, that's Henry from Australia. mentioned, Henry has a PB, which is the best in this field, of 8 meters and 34. Not seeing quite that performance today. However, still has another opportunity to show his pedigree here. Just awaiting the runway to be reopened. Henry going through his paces. Here goes Henry down the runway. Hits the board, but that's a scratch. Next up will be Emmanuel Archibald. He has a PB of 812, season's best of 795. Goes into his routine. Really great speed down the runway. Can he find the board? Goes up. And we have a white flag. That was 740 for Archibald. Seven meters and 40 inches. Is 40 centimeters on that last jump. Next up, it's Laquan from the Bahamas. Runs through this jump also, having problems finding the board.
Long jump, man. Long jump women, please report to the jumping area.
Back on the runway, it's Henry Frayne again. This will be his fifth attempt. Goes into his run. Really high steps. Hits the board. Decent height. That's a white flag. We have a fair jump. Our leader is Laquan at 758 meters. Still awaiting Henry's mark. That's our new leader, 750 for Henry on his last attempt. Now up, local favorite, Emmanuel Archibald. Also the national record holder in this event at 8:12. Looking to show his pedigree here. Gets into his routine. He's off. Really good speed down the runway. Hits the board. Wait to see. Yes, that was a fair jump. Not as much height as he would like. So he has to figure out how to turn all that horizontal speed into vertical height. Get you that. And we have a new leader, 7.63 for Emmanuel Archibald, overtaking Henry's 760 with Laquan Nair in third at 758. Laquan now up on the runway for his attempt. Getting into his routine. Barely any wind to speak of, so these are all legal jumps. Hits the board, tries to hang. That's a fair mark. .34, not an improvement. So currently Archibald holds the lead. Henry walks to the end of the runway. He's currently in second with a mark of 760. Looking to get over that 8-meter barrier. Goes into his routine. Begins his walk up. And off he goes down the runway, high stepping as usual. Gets to the board, gets good height. Fair flag. Can't gather much from his demeanor. .720, not an improvement on his 760, so he remains in second. Next up, as we see Laquan walking towards the official, here we have Archibald coming up for his final jump. Reties those laces. Asks the crowd for some help and support. Crowd responds in kind. This is it, folks, now or never. Can he hit that 8-meter mark? He has the speed. Just needs to get it correct to get that vertical height that he's missed on his last 2 attempts. He's off. Pretty fast down the runway. Gets to the board. Fair flag. Still struggling a little to turn that horizontal speed into vertical height. And we have an improvement. 7.67 extends his lead over Henry, who's at 7.60. Laquan asks the crowd to indulge him in the familiar field event clap as he gets ready for his final attempt with a chance to snatch victory away from Archibald. Down the runway, decent speed, chops his step, goes up. Fair jump. Now tense moments as we wait for the distance. Can he pass local favorite Archibald? We have guesses up here in the commentary booth. 7.33 meters. So our champion is in fact Emmanuel Archibald. So a productive day for him. Second in the 100 meters and ends with a victory in the long jump. Good performances here at the 5th edition of the Aliann Pompey Invitational here at the National Track and Field Center in West Damara region.
And this is where the curtains down on the 2024 Aliann Pompey Invitational Track and Field Championships.
Special thanks to everyone that came out to support the athletes, especially officials, media, and everyone that played a part in making today's event a success.
So that concludes the long jump. Emmanuel Archibald, our winner, 7.67 meters. Second place goes to Henry at 7.60 meters. That's Henry Frayne. And in third, Laquan Nair of the Bahamas, 7 meters, 7.58 meters. Next up on the schedule, we'll have the women's long jump, which is our last event. Come to the end of our live stream. The women's long jump will take place outside of our broadcasting window. We'll just recap a couple of events from earlier with few replays. The women's 100 earlier won by Michelle Lee Ayer. We also had the men's B race, which was won by that was a competitive B race. The A race was won by Joseph Amoa. in 10:35. Our 800 winner was Devon Barrington. In the men's 400, we had a commanding performance. And it was won by Lido Felix. All right, me. So had the women's 400, which was won by Aaliyah Abrams.
It's Aaliyah Abrams coasting down the runway with Kenesha Phillips, Tiana Springer.
Springer trying to
Making a
Springer
move,
challenge.
but it will be Aaliyah
Commanding
Abrams.
performance.
Kenesha
Phillips
Phillips,
also chasing,
Tiana
but this
Springer
is all
battling it
Aaliyah
out
Abrams to the
for
finish.
second and third, and it will be Aaliyah Abrams for the win.
We also had the 4x100 meter relays
Trinidad
with Trinidad
4 by 100 meters.
and Dominican Republic chasing
meters, 5
the
high school boys 100
Olympic
meters.
qualifying time.
5:45.
and they're
Just
off.
finished outside of that, but Trinidad had
Trinidad
a
in
superb
lane
run
eight, Guyana, Dominican
clearing the
Republic,
field
Trinidad and Tobago, and Suriname.
by the third leg.
You have
Really high steps on that back stretch. But Trinidad and Tobago took charge of the race
Will it be?
on that third leg,
Guyana,
coming off and
Trinidad and
extending their
Tobago, followed
lead
by the Dominican Republic, and it will be Trinidad and Tobago,
outside of the qualifying
followed by
time.
the Dominican Republic second, and Guyana.
We also
will
had
take
the
the
110 hurdles, won by Ruben. And they're off. Walters, the first hurdle from Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of carnage, crashing hurdles, but didn't seem to affect him in this race as he ran away with the victory. And our 200 was won by Joseph women's was won by, by Dashana Skeet. And with that, we sign off from here in beautiful Guyana at the National Track and Field Stadium. It was our pleasure streaming this meet for you. What's happening in Guyana? First inaugural streaming of this event. We will be back here next year. So, same time, same place. Only a different year, 2025. Thank you all, and good night.